Recently, in an awards ceremony in Kiev, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskiy stood with a pointed remark at the Ukrainian trident symbol printed on his black sweatshirt. Zelenskyy's clothing became a topic of discussion on February 28 when he visited the White House for a peacekeeping meeting with the U.S. President Donald Trump. But what's astonishing is that his attire made the president furious. They expected him to wear a suit while he wore a buttoned black sweatshirt featuring the Ukrainian trident symbol. Now let's go back to the fight that explains how it all began. Such a fight as if a reality show is going on. Some sources directly allege that Donald Trump is a Russian agent. They say Trump was cultivated as a Russian agent 40 years ago. In his speeches a few days back, Trump talks about buying all the land in Gaza, demands money and resources from other countries in return for their protection, or directly talks about colonizing them. Is Trump a modern-day dictator? Donald Trump, the President of the United States, and Volodymyr Zelenskiy, the President of Ukraine, held a highly contentious, bilateral meeting televised live in the Oval Office at the White House in Washington, D.C. But after a while, the meeting turns into a fight. One of the biggest personalities in the world, Elon Musk, says the United States must withdraw from NATO and the United Nations. The World Health Organization and the Paris Climate Agreement have already left the United States, has forgotten its decades-old conflict with Russia, and is now lending a hand of friendship with Putin. Some people are already alleging that Trump is an undercover agent of Putin. Let's understand the whole conversation in detail. The meeting begins at the Oval Office with President Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskiy on Friday, February 28. Soon, it turned into an on-camera shouting match before Trump came to a decision. Zelensky had to go, leaving the dinner prepared by the White House chefs. Donald Trump had already announced in his election campaign that he would swiftly end the Russia-Ukraine war within 24 hours. Now he desperately wanted to end the war even if all the odds were against Ukraine. Zelensky said that he had no interest in a war with Russia. He demanded a guarantee that Russia would not violate the ceasefire and his country would be protected against all kinds of threats from Russia. But President Trump wanted to ignore this question. Instead, he says that the United States is providing money and weapons for the war to Ukraine, so it must sign the minerals deal.
Through this stupid president, $350 billion. We gave you military equipment, and your men are brave, but they had to...
The deal states Ukraine has to give 50% of its minerals and all the natural resources of its country to America. Trump wants all the oil, gas, sports, and infrastructure present in Ukraine divided into two, meaning one for America. The conversation soured abruptly when Vance criticized former President Joe Biden's leadership during the 3-year war and said that the path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. Some of the newspapers and magazines have alleged that Trump is asking for protection money in surge to become a global power. You're gambling with World War III.
Right now, you don't know. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III.
They too condemned Zelensky for his military-style attire when visiting the White House. He arrived at the White House wearing a more formal black outfit with Ukraine's national symbol, but without a suit. Trump is sending a very wrong message to the world. On his official account, he has also shared videos about Gaza that show it revamped with golden statues of Trump and is renamed as Trump Gaza. He also signs an executive order to rename the Gulf of Mexico as Gulf of America. Trump's bullying diplomacy will definitely prove disastrous for America. But this is not the end. We will keep more information for our next video. Hope you liked our video. If you found it to be informative, please stay connected.